Hey guys, welcome back to the Interceptor. We are back with another Alliance War video. This is going to be Alliance War Season 57, Number 6, and AOH has matched up against DSVG. We have a pretty cool war here today, and we are bringing a couple attackers I don't usually bring. But one thing to note about this war is that Hood was banned. So this is the first Hood ban that we have seen this whole meta. And obviously it sucks because he's my main attacker, but we are going to find other attackers to use. And we are starting it out on our main account here on Path 3, Section 1, and we have this Silver Surfer. And as long as he never gets an armor up, he doesn't really do anything. This is, of course, the node where you bleed, and you also glance if they have armor ups, but if they don't have armor ups, they can't do anything. So Surfer didn't want to throw a special 1, so I decided to go ahead and just throw my special 2. He has a really easy SP1 to counter with a heavy. You just dex the first few hits, and then dash in, hold heavy, and you do it really easy. It's just a very straightforward matchup there. He didn't want to dash at my heavy, so I didn't get any extra ruptures, but this L2 is going to kill him. So very nice full health finish. And now we'll go on to the fight I've taken a million times. This is going to be Node 12 Enchantress, the unblockable Enchantress. We're going to take this with Titania. I take this with Titania just about every war. It's very rare we don't see Enchantress placed on this node, because in my opinion it is the best node for her. And Enchantress is a very good counter, a very hard counter. So there are other options. I've seen this fight with Void, and I've also seen this fight with Photon. I really don't like the assignment of Photon. I think it's really risky and not as consistent as other options. But I have seen the fight with Void, and it looks really good. But I would just prefer to bring my Titania, because I brought Void for one fight specifically. I was just told in my plan that I could bring whoever I wanted for that one fight, and we're going to do that. So one thing that is extremely helpful in this matchup is that you can use your Striker to remove spells, because it cannot miss, which is really nice. And now that I baited out 2 special 1s, we are going to push Enchantress to the special 2. We are being careful to stay on top of the combat deja vu, or not combat deja vu, counter strike punches, or whatever it's called, charges, so we don't lose our combat power rate. But it's not that important. I obviously have soloed this fight without throwing any specials, because I just decided to ignore that node, and it's not more dangerous, it just takes longer, because obviously more debuffs means more furies, and also just more damage in general. So it is going to be faster if you can throw specials, so a lot of the times I am paying attention to the charges, but as you can see, or as you will see in the next war video, I actually take this fight and I completely mess up my Counter-Strike charges, and I don't get to throw any specials. I think I throw 1 special the entire time. So don't do that, but the fight's still fine. Spoiler alert, I don't die to this fight, because that would be really pathetic. But yeah, this is going to be straightforward. This L2 is going to crit and kill, so a little bit over 2 minutes, but I'm pretty happy with how that went. So now we'll go on to our Section 2, and we are going to, when we load in, I don't know why it's taking this long to load. We're going to be on Path 2, Section 2, and we have a Maestro on the first node. Obviously, Hood is very clearly the best counter to that fight, however he was banned. My assignments said Tigra for this fight, and then I had an empty slot. I decided to just bring whoever I wanted for this fight, and I decided on Void. Void is actually my most recent rank 3 7-star. He is low sig, he's only sig 20, but I do think he's a very valuable champ, because while he is going to be a slower fight at low sig, he's still very good. Although, definitely for this fight specifically, because there's so much heal reversal, my 6-star Void would have done this faster, but I just want to get used to the 7-star. So we're going to make sure to throw our special 1 before that power drain comes around. Actually, no, we're going to mess it up. Wonderful. But yeah, the whole point of this node is to just keep up petrifies. We actually don't want to do the strike counter. We want to ignore the strike counter because the more charges on him, the more regen, and therefore the more regen reversal. So what I should have done in this fight is gotten up my 2 petrifies and then never thrown another special attack and just let the charges go crazy. And we would have finished it way faster. We're still going to finish this pretty quickly, and it's not going to be an issue whatsoever, but it could have been faster. That's it. Yeah, there we are not throwing our special, and I think at this point that's when I realized, yeah, I should probably stop throwing my special attack, and then there I throw it, but as soon as the regen goes away each time, we are reactivating it. Here we're going to lose our debuffs, but as soon as we get a single debuff on, we're going to start reversing healing, so it's not a big deal. And obviously there's a tactic here. Maestro is a tactic defender, and Void is not tactic, clearly, because he's a science champion. But not really a big deal when you have specials as easy to dex as Maestros, especially in the root, or not especially in the root, but even in the root, you can full dex them unblockable pretty easily if you've practiced it. Now we have this spot on the stun immune EMP node, and we're just going to be using Titania here. It's a pretty straightforward fight because she turns off all the nodes, so it's just a stun immune spot. Not the greatest defender in the world. Obviously he has his use, but not the best. And this is going to be pretty straightforward. I'm pretty sure nothing weird happens in this fight. Also, one thing I will learn next war is that Spot, whatever his mode is where he can block unblockables. I didn't know that, and you're going to see me you're going to see me take hits in the next war because of that, because of not knowing that, but yeah. Here, I think we're going to save for special 3. That's probably the best thing to do. But Spot doesn't want to seems like he doesn't want to throw the special 1. And I don't know if we're going to get our L3 off. Okay, we're not going to get our L3 off with the Haymaker, but that's fine because we're just going to probably throw it right here. Yep. And as you can see, we're at full health. It's a pretty straightforward fight. Honestly, just don't have much to say about this fight. It just takes a little bit. Gonna get our debuffs up. And one more heavy. Oh, we decided to not go for a third heavy in case he hits us in the face with an L2. But yeah, we just bait the L2 and he's almost dead here. I think we hit him with a few more combos and he's gonna go down pretty quickly, I think right here. Oh, no, decided to bait the special 1 for literally no reason because he was already dead. And okay, so minute and a half, not the fastest fight in the world, but not bad. And I think that's actually going to be it for my main account. I think I had no minis. Yeah, I did have no minis. And now we are here with my alt account, and we're going to have some pretty interesting fights. We are actually bringing Ghost for 6 fights this war, which is pretty cool. So we are going to be boosting up here. And something really annoying is going to happen. Black Panther is so terrified of fighting against my Ghost that he is just going to make the game load forever. And when I mean forever, I mean literally forever. I'm going to click fight on this fight, like click start on the fight, and the game is going to load and disconnect me. Like it's not going to load. So I'm going to hit start, and then the fight is going to load for over 5 minutes. And once you hit start, the fight like technically starts. So if you go past 5 minutes, it's a timeout anyways. And I never had the red connection symbol or anything. Like it never came up. Nothing to indicate that I was going to timeout. It just stayed like this for 5 minutes straight. And I sat there staring at my phone waiting for it to load. And every 30 seconds or something, I would get like a sound coming out of the phone to make me think that it was going to load. And then it just never did, which is super annoying. And yeah, as you can see here, I went to my alliance chat and I said, like, what's going on? Why is my fight loading forever? And I'm just speeding this clip up here. But as you can see, At this point, I give up because it's been over 5 minutes. I did speed the clip up, I think, ×8 or something like that. But it was over 5 minutes that I was waiting for, and I knew at that point, even if I loaded in, the fight would just auto time out. So I decided to restart, accepted that it was going to take away an attack bonus, but there's nothing I can do. I mean, I sit beside my router when I do my fights, so it was clearly not... Oh, I just dropped something. It was clearly not my connection that was the issue. It was just Black Panther being so terrified of fighting me, or fighting Ghost, that he just told the game to not load in. Also, I used an invuln boost when I went in the first time, and that invuln boost is now gone. There's no getting it back. But we decide not to invuln for the second one just because I didn't really see the point, because most of the damage that you take from Black Panther is going to be burst damage anyways, so the invuln boost wouldn't even save you. You'll notice that in this fight I do parry once or twice. The reason you can safely do that is because of the stun immunity. If I were to re-parry him, then I would be at risk of getting my stun reflected, but just one parry, all it does is reduce the damage you take. But as you can see, RL2 is hitting really hard. When we have the protection down, I did run full suicides for this, of course, because it's Ghost. You gotta run full suicides. And yeah, we're throwing L2 through the protection, 20, 20, 28. That's really solid. And then we finish the fight off with the special one. And Ghost is just still holding up. I mean, in some of these fights, she's going to be punching up 2 whole ranks. She still holds up. Her damage is still unreal. And this next one here, this is going to be Arcade on Heavy Hitter. I don't know what was going on with Arcade in this fight. Maybe it was the Heavy Hitter node just making him go crazy. But bro was just spamming special one into the air the entire fight, and I don't know why. Like, I get it's Heavy Hitter, but the degree to which it happens in this fight is actually disgusting. So, obviously, you can parry Heavy safely to remove the protection. We're going to just try to get to a few L2s. There, he just walked up to me and hit me with a light, so there was not much I could do. Here, we're just waiting out. So there, I didn't notice the protection was coming back, so the debuffs were going to be purified. Here, we're going to hit him with a Heavy. And I think here we're going to throw an L2. So we are doing really good damage. We are getting the tokens right now from going through the gas or whatever it's called. I honestly forget what it's called. But that just means we need to hit him with a couple heavy attacks. Not really the biggest deal. You want to stay out of that. But our specials are still going to do really good damage. We hit him with another heavy there just to remove absolutely every token that he has. Hit him with another L2. And then at this point, we just need to knock him down one more time. But of course, he's going to throw the special one, because why not? We get hit with the special one, obviously on purpose, because I wanted the extra damage. Definitely not an accident at all. But here, Heavy, remove the protection, just block and throw the L2, and a rank 4 Arcade goes down. If he had not been spamming heavy attacks and letting me push him to special 2 the entire fight, as I was intending to, then that fight would have been 45 seconds probably. But yeah, that is it for section 1. Let's get into section 2 here. We're going to be on path 5, section 2, and we have this Black Cat on the intercept node. Obviously, Black Cat is a tactic champion, but we're going to be phasing all the hits, so we don't need to be worried about blocking. And against double medium champions, one, Ghost gains more power. I also didn't notice this was a rank 4 Black Cat, and still right now that is a disgusting rank up. Not in a good way. But if you double phase, not only do you gain more power, but it also still counts as an intercept as long as you counter fast enough. So, and I'm not trying to, like, when I said that it was a gross rank up, I just meant like a weird one. I don't actually think she's that bad. I don't think she's that useful, but like rank 4? What are you doing? Anyways, this fight goes down in 25 seconds. I understand why she's placed there, but at the end of the day, it didn't really do much for Ghost. And we have Morbius on this next node. It's going to be a really easy fight. The only thing you have to worry about is not being able to intercept when he has his... I don't even know what it's called. What's it called? It's going to say, right? Psionic Glide. Yeah. When he has his Psionic Glide, you can't intercept. Otherwise, you can. Just going to be hitting him with a few L2s. 55, 55, 75k. Absolutely disgusting damage out of Ghost. Trying to bait out his Psionic Glide once again. He throws a special one, which is going to reactivate it, so we have to bait it out again before we intercept. But we do get it right there, and then there we fail the parry from the debuff immunity. I decide to just go for an L2 through the protection just because I want to get out of my corner. And then here, I think we're going to hit him with a heavy probably. No, we're just going to hit him, bait the L2, bait the dash, I think. Yeah, bait the dash, and then we can hit him with a phase intercept right here, and the fight does go down. So a little bit slow, but Ghost deals with that fight pretty well, and we do come out of it pretty healthy. So now let's get to the mini bosses. On the first island here, we have this Shocker, and this is normally a fight that we would send Hood to, and I would have been the one taking it. Actually, I probably would have been sent to Atuma on 39 because it's a tougher fight than this. But with Hood gone, the counters for this fight aren't super obvious. And if you're curious, Sim was also banned, and also Purgatory was banned. I don't remember who the other two were, but I definitely remember those three. So let's take this Shocker right here. This is the regen node that also has the root. So we are going to be trying to keep the roots... the regens off. We're going to be backing off, and of course we are going to be backing off when the root is active, so we try not to get rooted. I think we do get rooted once in this fight, but it's clearly not going to matter that much. And then there, yeah, I didn't think he would be able to dash in fast enough to get the root on me, but obviously he was able to. But we're doing really good damage. We're very, very easily out damaging the regen here, and here we are able to use our phase intercept to remove his charges. So even if my L2 was not unblockable, we wouldn't have gotten auto blocked. But that fight goes down really, really easy. My other officer who was assigning this war was actually like, he had no idea who to send to that fight, and I told him Ghost could do it. He's like, okay, cool, like go do it, sure. So yeah, that was that. Now we have probably the easiest fight of the war, Spiral on Hazard Shift. And if you want to know why this is the easiest fight, it is because Spiral has an ability, and I think it's her Fervor, right? Is that what it's called? Fervor? Yeah, it's her Fervor. What that does is it makes it so that every single hit triggers Hazard Shift, which is something we can abuse with Ghost to hit nasty special 2s like that into special 1. The fight's over. And yeah, that was just absolutely disgusting. That was so fast. And had she dashed at me instantly, it would have been even faster. But we do have another boss this war. You'll notice Luke Cage is on the team, and he has not taken a fight yet. He's about to take a fight. So we did swap off our Suicide's Mastery setup to a normal setup. And I was just double checking to see if it was the one I used for attack as well, or my strictly defensive one. And it was one. It's like a hybrid setup that I have, the one I normally run for Hood. And this is a rank 4 Sasquatch boss with Luke Cage. This is not going to be a fast fight. What we are going to do in this fight is we are going to alternate throwing special 2, special 1. You want to keep the concussion up in this matchup so that it prevents the physical vulnerability, or sorry, the physical and the energy protection that trigger. And if you can prevent them, then obviously the fight's going to be faster. We are going to want to keep a exhaustion on him at all times, and the reason you want to do that is because it does stop his charges from building, his wrath charges. Unfortunately there, I didn't think that L2 that I threw would remove all of the exhaustions I had, but it did because I forgot how many it removed. And unfortunately, we do give him 1 wrath charge, so he does have a bit of a protection for the entire fight, and there's no way of removing it without letting like my exhaustions expire, and I would just have to play really weird to get rid of it, so there wasn't really any point. I think someone like Void or maybe even Count Nefaria would probably have been a little bit faster, but this was a really safe option. I'm going to end at very, very healthy. I took extra block damage in this fight to try to push him to special 2 as much as I could, just because it's a little faster. But he is going to throw L1 a few times in this fight, as you will see. Keep up the heavy. You can heavy counter the special 2 really easily to just keep up your debilitate. Other than that, it is just alternate L2, L1. This fight is going to go down. I did speed it up by quite a lot, but that's because it was really boring and like really straightforward. It's not something that I need to show the whole fight. It's just a long fight and a very safe one. I mean, unless you eat an L2 and get ruptured, you're not going to die in this matchup. So that is actually going to be it for my video today. I did have just 11 fights total, I think. So 4 fights on my main and 7 fights on my alt. But we did win the war. GG's to DSVG. We are now 3-3 on the season. I have 0 deaths total on both accounts. My PSR is 77 out of 77 fights soloed, or 100%, with 30 of those being on my main and 47 of them being on my alt, because my alt just takes a lot more fights with it having the rank 4 hood. My Deathless streak currently is at 85 fights, so we are probably either next war or the war after going to hit 100. And that is a 31 fight streak on my main and a 62 fight streak on my alt. So that is going to be it for today. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.